They called my name, Aline Costa, valedictorian, with formal automatic cheer. My classmates half turned, some clapped, others just shuffled. Shafts of gold sunlight cut through the high church windows, lighting on rows of polyester gowns. On the low plywood stage, I felt sweat prickling my scalp, my pulse hammering underneath my skin. My speech was folded, soft and tentative in my palm. I'd wrestled every word into place. Late at night, desk lamp buzzing blue over my notes, rain whispering on the roof. Hours searching for something real, not just the empty hope people expected from this moment. I thought if I was honest, maybe someone would see me. Looking out, I found my mother pressing her lips together, eyes closed tight. My father slouched, arms folded, frowned deep on his face. He saw me looking and arched his brow. Hurry it up, like he wanted me to move on, to not embarrass them. My cousin Luana twitched beside her friend, already talking about moving to Sao Paulo, eyes already elsewhere. I gripped the microphone, cleared my throat. I know everyone expects me to say I'll study law or be a doctor, maybe an engineer, I started, louder than I meant. There was a ripple, a laugh here and there. They knew the script as well as I did, but I always wanted to take pictures, photographs that tell truths, sometimes ones you'd miss if you weren't looking. From the back, someone let out a laugh sharp as glass. My Uncle Joe boomed in Portuguese, Vai viva do queer, photo de batizado, what are you going to make a living from, baptism photos, hot shame flooded my chest, my words tangled up. The principal came, patient but urgent, whispered, "Thank you, Aline," and guided my shoulder away from the mic, all while the laughter prickled louder. Just like that, it ended. Outside, classmates looped arms and posed, the world ahead of them wide and unknown. My mother hovered. "Why must you say these things in front of everyone?" Her voice wasn't cruel, just tired, like she'd repeated this discussion to herself all day. "There are good jobs, Aline, you're so smart, don't ruin it." I said nothing, my anger kept quiet, burning close to my ribs, swallowing my words. Summer slipped by. When university results arrived, I refused to apply for medicine, law, accounting. When I told everyone I had been accepted to an arts course, photography, my aunt called my mother crying. My cousin stopped answering my texts. Family WhatsApp posts turned into lectures on practicality and pride. My father barely spoke except about chores. It felt like everyone in Bequera was watching, the shopkeepers, neighbors, even teachers. Still with that camera, I worked evenings at a supermarket, saved grimly for an old DSLR I bought from a stranger. All my spare time went to learning about light, waiting for the right moment, chasing shadows. At dawn, Curitiba's fog would sweep the streets, softening color to gray. I wandered the empty sidewalks, searching lines in rooftops, market vendors setting up, stray dogs curled asleep. I found beauty in it all, except in the faces of those who saw only my stubbornness as failure. I posted my photos online, mostly silence. 2 years later, the supermarket manager called me aside, gentle, apologetic. They were letting go of the students first. "You'll thank me someday, Aline. You're built for more than this," he said, waving at blinking lights overhead. At home, silence thickened. My father avoided looking at my photos. My mother braced for arguments every time I entered the room. I learned to be patient, neck bent under quiet, never asking them for more than the roof above me. Half a year unemployed, I made it through my uncle's 60th birthday, overlit tiny snacks, everyone watching Luana brag about her new banking job. "When will you get real?" someone joked. "You're so stubborn, honey," my aunt sighed. "It's admirable until it's not." My cousin's voice was flat. "Everyone wants to be an artist, but jobs are jobs." Their words bounced around inside me. I stood, cleared my plate in the sink, and said nothing, my silence settling like armor. The years passed, heavy as rain clouds. I got work taking graduation portraits, the one photography job no one argued with. My dad grumbled, "At least you can live off that." I made flyers, haggled discounts, traded photos for old gear. I spent weekends in the parks, taking pictures for families, lovers, anyone wanting a cheap keepsake. But the studio work chafed. I hated arranging strangers to look like something they weren't, all pressed shirts and reluctant smiles. Every parent wanted their child to seem impressive, untouched by the scrapes and stains of real life. One day a woman brought her daughter Anna, small and stubborn, wild curls everywhere. "Can you do something? She won't sit for photos," the mother said, smoothing Anna's blouse. I crouched by her chair. "Don't smile if you don't want. Just look at me." For a heartbeat, Anna's frown softened. I caught it. Her mother wanted a reshoot. "She's not pretty enough in this." I refused to retouch it, handed her the honest photo. Anna looked at it, then her mother, and said with sudden pride, "That looks like me." From that day, I started sending my favorite photos into contests, local papers, wherever I dared. For months, nothing but silence or polite no thanks. I started to expect rejection as a kind of proof. I kept looking, kept taking pictures of the real, the market sellers before opening, cracked concrete where weeds forced through, smiles half hidden behind exhaustion. Most friends drifted off. One day when you're less busy, they'd say, and not mean it. Family invitations came less often, just out of obligation, but I didn't miss the gatherings. I grew used to the quiet, wrapped it around me like a winter scarf. One cold May evening, in the middle of editing bakery photos, I got an email. Congratulations, first place, lens of Brazil competition. At first, I thought it was a scam. But the details lined up: gallery in Rio, schedule, big judges' names. I stared at my screen, numb with disbelief. Then I started to shake, quietly at first, then with a sudden, unstoppable laugh. Getting to Rio took nearly all I had. I packed sandwiches, slept on the long bus, camera on my lap. Rio dazzled, hot, noisy, nothing like my chilly home. Inside the gallery, under glaring lights, my photo was blown up huge, a black and white portrait of an old man at a bakery window, hands folded, eyes thoughtful and heavy with memory. People gathered around. A judge took my hand, told me, "This is what patience really means." The prize changed everything. It paid my rent, bought new gear, enough for train and bus tickets. I started getting messages from magazines and agencies. BBC Brazil wanted my shot, a Parisian magazine asked for an interview. I traveled, took odd jobs, survived off photo work alone. Each trip further from that heavy church hall. When I told my parents, my father mumbled about luck. My mother's face brimmed with pride, swallowed by worry. Relatives messaged congratulations, always hedged with maybe now you'll find proper work. I told myself I didn't care. I sent money for a new fridge on Mother's Day, kept conversations short, never talked about the pictures. As the years passed, I wondered if I'd ever go home for more than a weekend, or if it would feel different when I did. 5 years after that interrupted speech, the Museu Oscar Niemeyer wrote, "That museum, I remembered pressing my nose to its glass as a kid, wanted to host a solo exhibition. A retrospective showcasing everything from my earliest snaps to recent work. Curatabana, your vision is rooted here," their message said. Outside, rain battered my windows. I tried to laugh, it came out half sob, half laugh. The gallery wanted a big opening night with family, friends, media. "Bring your people," the curator insisted. "Let them see." It took me days to gather courage, but I called my mom. "Will you all come?" My voice sounded small. "We'll be there," she promised, voice warm and just a bit broken. The days ahead were sleepless, dreams haunted by those old faces, a church stage blurred by nervous laughter. I wandered city streets at dawn, camera bouncing at my side, heart beating ahead of me. When the night came, the air outside hummed with the threat of a storm. The museum lobby glowed, echoing with soft voices and the smell of rain-soaked pavement. My mother stood across the hallway, hands restless on her purse. My father shuffled behind her, older hair mostly grey. My cousin Luana crept in, shifting uncomfortably, her boyfriend close behind. Old friends, teachers, neighbors gathered, all with the same uncertain curiosity. The walls carried my work, city streets, portraits, fleeting moments, the old bakery man, fruit sellers. The sun breaking over Baqueiro, painting the tiled rooftops gold. Anna, arms folded, a dare in her gaze. At first they murmured, some joked, a little brittle, expecting something small. But soon they grew hushed, faces softening, eyes finding something familiar in these moments and strangers. My uncle stared at the bakery photo, his jaw slack. "That's from our street, isn't it?" he said, as if he had never noticed it before. My mother trembled, clinging to my hand. "So many are from home, you saw what we missed." Neighbors recognized scenes from their morning walks, dogs, shops, sunrises. My father paused by a candid shot of him and my mother, her foot up on the table, his hands fixing her shoe. I called it cuidado, Kea. He blinked, turning to me, apology caught on his tongue. All his skepticism, I realized, was fear that the world would break me. Light flashed, reporters in the crowd. "Miss Costa, how does your family feel?" Everyone stopped waiting. I looked at my family, felt the old ache. "They worried," I said, steady, "but worry is its own kind of love. Maybe tonight we finally see each other for who we are." A ripple of applause, my cousin stepped closer. "I'm proud of you, Aline," she whispered. People hugged me, awkward at first, then stronger. My mother crushed me against her, tears bright. My father gave a gruff hug, voice thick with feeling. "Never thought I'd see this," he muttered. My uncle finally caught my eye. "Remember my joke about christening photos?" he said, embarrassed. I remember. I was wrong. He swept his hand at the photos, helpless but sincere. This is real. Outside, thunder rumbled, rain drumming. The city blurred through glass, lights smeared gold and blue. I stepped out for air, camera in hand. The old ache faded. I realized I'd fought not just to prove them wrong, but to find something real for myself. Coming home was neither defeat nor victory. It was simply finally belonging. Behind me, my family's laughter spilled through the doors, warm and unmistakable. The museum shone with golden light. I turned and walked back in, finally ready, at last peaceful, anchored both to the world I made through my lens and to the family who, after years, could finally see me as I was meant to be.